Okay, I'm going to call this video the end of the world again. The end of the world again. As in, okay. Alright, so I'm starting to think that the world theoretically ends every so often, and then either everything is reset or our collective consciousness is shifted to a parallel multiverse wherein whatever it is that caused the Earth's destruction did not happen. Okay, so I want to take you back to the 2016 election last year when Trump got elected. That whole day, from morning, afternoon, evening, and even till the following morning, I was plagued with the feeling of deja vu. So normally when I have feelings of deja vu, it's usually like maybe one instance, oh, that's weird, deja vu. I'm saying like the whole entire day, I was like, whoa, 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 like constantly the whole day. It was so strong and so striking what was happening that I actually spoke with people on Instagram and asked them, hey, you guys feeling anything weird today? And a few people reported saying and feeling the same way. Yeah, I've been feeling like massive amounts of deja vu today. It's like really weird. Not only that, but while I was watching the election process sort of take place, I had the strong feeling that Hillary was going to win. And it wasn't just a feeling, excuse me, that's dog. It wasn't just a feeling, it was a knowing. Like I just knew she was going to win. I think everybody did. I think Trump knew she was going to win. I think Hillary knew she was going to win. I think the news reporters knew she was going to win. Everybody in the whole entire world knew Hillary Clinton was going to win. And the reason why I say that with such confidence is because my memory takes me back to the moment when Trump was elected, or was announced the president-elect, and at his camp you could see the cameras that were at the hotel were of sort of a lesser grade, lower quality, typically reserved for, you know, the losers, whereas the cameras that were at Hillary's camp were high quality, almost like movie quality. Hey baby, Zeusy, hey dog. Somebody's out there. Was of a high quality movie grade. I mean, it was, everything was high definition. I guess that's what I'm looking for. Yeah. And not only that, but you know, the lights were set up. So Trump was in this like little hotel, you know, convention conference room, and Hillary was in this huge convention center. They had rigged up the glass ceilings to sort of crumble and fall, or shatter and fall, to sort of symbolize Hillary Clinton like breaking through the glass ceiling. I mean, everybody knew that she was going to win. All the major news telecasters had their people there, at least the top people there, and Trump was essentially preparing for a concession speech. And then all of a sudden he was giving Trump was giving his acceptance speech, and the whole entire world was like absolutely like stunned. I mean, stunned. It was, yeah, stunning, shocking to say the least. So a year later, I'm thinking back to that day, to the 2016 elections, and I can't help but remember that consistent feeling and a consistent onslaught of deja vu. And then I remembered watching a conference that Philip K. Dick gave. It was a conference he gave, I believe, in the 60s or 70s, where he sat and he said, I believe that we were living in a simulation. He also said that when you have the feeling of deja vu, that means something has been changed. That conference was where the writers of the Matrix got their idea. There's a scene in the Matrix where a cat walks by and Neo looks and then sees the cat walk by again, and he goes, oh, deja vu. And all the characters turn, and he goes, oh, I just saw thought I saw a cat walk by twice. And the cast goes, they've changed something. So they actually got that from Philip K. Dick. And so I guess what he was saying is that whenever a person experiences deja vu or feelings of deja vu, it's because something has changed. A writer, Anthony Peake, he says that whenever people experience a feeling of deja vu, it's because they've already experienced that particular thing, and then something different is now happening. So they're going to make a different choice than the choice that preceded that deja vu experience. So whatever it is that they were feeling or felt like they just experienced, they're about to make a different choice to that. So all of these thoughts kind of brought me to this conclusion now, wherein I'm feeling like, well, maybe Hillary did in fact get elected. Like, perhaps her election did actually happen, and maybe that's why we all kind of felt like she was going to win, because we all collectively had experienced her winning. But then something about her election brought about maybe a third world war or a nuclear war, something that caused the annihilation of the earth, so much so that we all either had to get reset back to election night and get shifted to a parallel multiverse, wherein in fact very unlikely but still highly probable parallel multiverse where in fact she lost and Donald Trump won. So either we got reset back to that point, or some sort of mass consciousness shift occurred where we got transferred to a parallel multiverse wherein she lost, or both. A transfer of consciousness, a mass consciousness transfer, and a reset to election night, which is why a lot of people were feeling, or at least in my experience, were feeling that feeling of, I've already experienced this, only to be completely surprised when Trump ended up winning. So if I am correct, then last year wouldn't have been the first time something like that happened, like a parallel multiverse slash collective consciousness shift occurred. Let me see here, reading off my notes. This could mean then that every end of the world prophecy that seemed as though it did not happen actually did happen. So I remember as a kid in 2000, everybody knew the world was going to end in 1999. We're going to party like it's 1999, and then nothing happened. And then 2012, we had the Mayan prophecy where everybody just knew the world was going to end in 2012. They had movies coming out called 2012, End of the World, and then nothing happened. And now we have September 23rd, 2017, where people are saying that the world is going to end. I think it's like 3 days. Yeah. But then anyway, nothing happened. And my theory is that perhaps all these times where we felt like the world was going to end, we thought it was going to end, but then nothing happened. What if it actually did happen? What if that particular world did end, and then a reset occurred and a mass sort of consciousness transfer happened, and we were all sort of collectively shifted? Not every single one of us, but whoever one of us that was in that reality got transferred to this reality wherein nothing happened. We have been running on the assumption that this is our only world, like we only have one world, and we may be collectively wrong in that assumption. According to the many world hypothesis proposed by physicists, there may very well be many parallel multiverses occurring simultaneously alongside ours. Right now, just because the world does not appear to us to end when we expect it to end doesn't mean that it did not. You may not have always existed in this world your whole life, you may have shifted to multitude of parallel multiverses throughout your lifetime without realizing, just running on the assumption that this is the only world. And the world may have ended at 2012 and may very well end in 2017, and then you reset, go through a feeling of deja vu, and then just go about your day like nothing happened because you don't remember that something has happened. And maybe that's just what this multiverse, universe, world, earth, planet is programmed to do. And maybe this has been happening since the beginning of time. This could explain the Mandela effect and why some people have very vivid but opposing memories to other people. Perhaps a people with conflicting memories to what, you know, factual items actually reflect are simply travelers or immigrants in a way from a parallel world that now, for some reason or another, no longer exists. So that's some food for thought. It's certainly something that I'm going to delve into over the next few days. I'm going to see what's going to happen on the 23rd. I'm going to see if I feel any sort of feelings of deja vu leading up to that, and I implore you to do the same. And if the world ends, I guess see you on the other side. And if absolutely nothing happens, you may very well have just shifted to a parallel multiverse wherein nothing happens, but expect to see an influx of Mandela effects then after the 23rd if something did occur. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe and comment below if you feel compelled. Thank you.